Okay, hi everybody. Um, we're gonna do three things today. On the community tab, I posted the picture of the track just north of my mom's. We're gonna pour some plaster in there today, and I'll explain a little bit more and further on as we get over there where that is and you know what took place and what I'm gonna go walk over there where we seen that little white Bigfoot. I'm going to try to do a little bit of a size comparison video, but I am going to leave the camera here, walk over there, and we'll just see, right, how big. I think she's small, but this is like the third time now, right? We found the bed in the North Pasture where we're going to head to here in about 15 minutes, where I found the bed with white hair in it, and down in the mint patch, and then just the other day here, south of where I'm standing right now, we're seeing the white one, right? Kind of exciting. It's kind of exciting. And a little bit of an update on the chalkboard. Nothing new, but I'm going to show you what I added. And these are suggestions from some of the subscribers. So let's do that. Be right back. Here we go. Don't laugh at my doodling. Nothing new with the I chords, but that's my rendition of me and the Bigfoot. You can see my beard, my cap. Yeah. Somebody asked me, draw a Bigfoot. Okay, that's my attempt at a Bigfoot and me. And some spruce trees. See in the trees, right? And I left the X in my handprint. So nothing new, right? They haven't, nothing yet. I won't give up. And if this just becomes a place for me to doodle for them, so be it, right? We'll use it. Okay, let's do this. I've got to leave the camera here for this. All right. Yeah, there's some kind of whistling or sound. Right where I think she was standing, there was a freshly broken tree, like a snap. All right, come on. We're headed in. Actually, we are only, 50 feet into the bush here, into the trees. I've brought my little IKEA garden stool, and I've got my water and my plaster of Paris, and here we go. This is an amazing track. Oh, it's already got some leaves in there, so don't get those in the plaster. Here we go. Or he's got scent of something. And you're looking north into the north pasture. I've had people say, why do you call it a pasture? It's trees. It's a pasture. Wherever you put your animals for the summer to graze, it's a pasture. Okay, so we're going to measure that track. Or 14 inches. 14 by 7. 7.5, 7. Okay, let's get busy here. So 14 by 7.5, right in there. It looked a lot bigger. Like, it's kind of deceiving, right? But yeah, that's a 14 inch track. Water and plaster. Okay. Okay, so I got that in there. I was afraid that was going to happen on our screen, at the bottom of the screen there. It kind of bulged out. You see this old stuff here. This is old grass clippings. When I cut the grass through the summer, I come back here and I dump all of the grass clippings, and they stepped right nicely. And at the bottom of that track, like this stuff, if you see my foot here, how soft it is, you can make an imprint there. And it kind of springs up a little bit. Well, the bottom of that was hard. Like there had to have been a lot of weight. And I'm thinking that next step is over here. Right here. You got the heel. Move these leaves out of there. Heel print right here. That would be right, left. And they're going back there somewhere. Into the north pasture. I'm amazed at how thick. It's like I haven't had the animals back here for probably about 4 years now. And you know, they would eat this down, all this undergrowth. they would eat all of this. You would be able to see if I had the animals back here, you would see a long ways back through there. But now, just within 4 years, it's all regrowing, right? Okay, so I thought I should do this as well while we're waiting. I measured the stride. I'm going from heel to heel. So we're looking at where I'm guessing this would be the heel. 5'4" stride for a 14-inch track. That would seem about right, because it's two of my steps to one of these. So yeah. So I am hearing some movement back here in the North Pasture while I've been sitting here waiting for this plaster to dry. But what I wanted to do, I want to show you just kind of the view from my mother's, like how far, like how close this was. I'm standing. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm standing right next to the track, and I'm gonna just point my camera in the direction of Mom's, and you'll be able to see my house further off into the distance on the other side of where my mother lives, and just gives you an idea of how close this was to my mom's house, right? But they will sit on their back deck, and it's facing the North Pasture, right? And they're always hearing grunts and wood knocks. See, there is something moving around back there. Can hear it walking. And you get to see, yes, we usually try to set the teepee up once a year, and it's up right next to Mom's place there, and my house is beyond that yet over there. Yeah, so not very far, right? Not very far. Yeah, very close to Mom's. And like I say, they are always hearing stuff here in the North Pasture. They can, they hear the wood knocks, whistles, what sounds like giant owls hooting, but that's way too deep and low for it to be an actual owl, right? But they hear all that stuff up here in this North Pasture. And it makes sense that there'd be tracks here. I've been able to get lifted 6 casts off of the property here. And that's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Again, I'm happy with what they are willing to share with us, right? Everybody's, I've had the emails and the messages and the comments. Why don't they just step out? How come they don't just come out? And we're dealing with a species, thousands of years. This is the way they live. This is their species, right? This is how they are. This is what they do. And this is where they're most comfortable, staying hidden, right? And that's why this is pretty amazing. That's why I'm, just for those that want all that, there's a lot of people that want that money shot, right? And maybe they will here one day. They have with, they are different. They are very different where the cameras are on. Very different. They are smart to the cameras. When I go out and I sit in the trees without the gear, and I went out and just played the flute, or I've just sat out there with them and just spent time with them, I've seen them moving around. They are more vocal, and they come closer. And as soon as I put the cameras on, they're quiet. And they're there because I find them, but they stay hidden. And it's the camera thing. They're smarter than people give them credit for. But anyway, I just wanted to give you an idea of where these tracks are from our houses. and how close they come. I mean, they've come right into our yard and taps. I have one that comes and taps on my house and taps on my windows. Not all the time, but, you know, a couple times in a month, they will come and let me know they're here. So just a little bit of a, come back, come on, Sam. He's like in and out of here, in and out of here. It's all right. The very first print track I was able to pull on the property here was here, and that was 3 years ago. And it was, the track was actually on the other side of this pile of grass clippings, and it was headed south and east, and this one is headed north and west. It would be north and west, right? 3 years later, I don't know, there is a trail. I know you can't see it very good, but there is a trail going through here, and it's just somewhere where they walk. And for me, they leave it, right? Because they don't have to step here. And I'm sure they would know that they're leaving evidence, right? I think the majority of the time it is, for them, it's to not leave a sign of their passing, where they walk, what they touch, and yet they will leave 1 or 2 tracks for me through the year. I know they're here, but this helps for those that wonder, right? For those that wonder and aren't sure. This, I mean, it's unmistakable, right? I almost overlooked it because I came back here. What I was doing, and the reason why I come back here was because I was coming back here to dump. We were taking out all the flowers out of the flower pots and emptying them out. I was coming back here to haul everything and throw into the trees, into the bush here. And I thought, well, I'm just going to walk back a little further. And I almost overlooked this because of the ground litter, all the leaves, right? And but there was enough of it. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, oh. So I gently cleaned the leaves out of it. Boom, there it was, right? Yeah. So 14 by 7 and a half. That's the hard part with this grass clippings. And I almost changed my mind to not pour here, because the first time that I did this here on this grass clipping, when I pulled that plaster out, a whole lot of grass clippings come with it, and there was a lot of cleaning, but I mean, it turned out okay. It worked out pretty good. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Like I say, they don't have to step where we're going to see where they stepped, right? A lot of people will not see or find one in their lifetime. So that does speak volumes. It does say a lot about what they're doing here, right? You'll just let that sit, and I'm going to sip on some of my coffee, and we'll just wait. It's all about the waiting now. All right, folks. We're going to try to lift this. I'm a little afraid because of all this soft, I wonder, I might have to do a little bit of digging here. And of course, I think about these things later. How many of you have mentioned to put wire or something in there? And I always forget these things, but we'll have to just make do now. I know when I lift this track, because the last one that I got 3 years ago on this grass clipping pile, when I lifted it, a lot of the grass come up with it, so I know that's going to happen. So I just don't want to break it. I don't want to break it. Oh, look. Oh! You guys see all of that? All that grass clippings on here. Got the toes there. Okay, well, there you go. Yeah, it didn't turn out too bad. It'll look a little bit different once I clean it all up and get it all scrubbed down and wood knock. And wood knock. Okay, all right. That wasn't that far from me either. But anyway, okay. I'm getting distracted. They're here. And so, but I mean, it will look a little bit different once I get it all cleaned up and not shined up, but I will wash it. I will leave it there. Thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you in the trees. Bye for now.